Happy Tuesday. Twitter Tuesday on the Morning Night Live, as usual. Is there a double? What is going on there? That is weird. I don't need that. There, let's turn that off. I imagine has there been an echo the whole time? Anyway, how you doing? I'm happy to see you guys. It's the Morning Night Live, and I'm here. And I think this headline right here, I think I'm going to use that headline every day until Trump is arrested. We'll see how many times I can use this headline. Now, part of it is because I don't think Alvin Bragg, the guy over there, that guy, not him, not the guy with the funny hair, but the guy on the other side of him, I think it's because he isn't quite ready. Okay? I know he wants to, and that's all he's wanted to do. That's how he campaigned on arresting Trump. Him and Letitia, what's her face? Letitia James or whatever. So, they want to, but they're trying to get their ducks in a row. I think they might realize that some of their plan is a little, it has some problems. But they're going to do it. They're going to try it. And see, in New York City, any jury you get is going to be 80% anti-Trump because they all, whatever. So, it'll be interesting to see a couple things. One, if they'll even be able to attempt to get a change of venue. And if it, I don't know, we'll see. There's a whole lot of stuff to talk about regarding that up there, whatever. I can't fit that way there. This is the headline. So we're going to talk about that, and we'll try to get to some other things, but we might not. But since it's Twitter Tuesday, you know how I always do Twitter tops, get everything there. I'm going to do it a little different today. I have the trending topic, but I have an article for each of the trending topics. So we'll see how that works. And that's not necessarily from Twitter, but I found some corresponding articles. So we'll try something new. We'll see. And we'll do that right after the intro. Johnny, play the intro, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Yes! It's me, the guy behind the microphone. Oh, wrong. Let me try a different one here. Let's try this one. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I am your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel on this Tuesday, the 21st of March, 2023. Is the first day of spring? I can't freaking tell. But it was like 24 degrees out this morning when I left for work. But anyway, I hope it's beginning to warm up where you are. We actually, each day we get a little bit of thaw. In fact, I noticed I was driving, I live in Minnesota, so it's supposed to be snow everywhere and whatever. That's kind of the natural, the natural status of things, right? Snow in winter. And yet I was driving down the street and I didn't even notice, like, the median was devoid of snow. There was no snow in the median. And then I looked over to the side of the road where, the sun hits, because the trees over here, there's still snow on the ground and all of the trees over there. But then I looked over here on the side of the road where the sun comes down. it was like all grass. I'm like, wait a minute, when did that happen? Because my backyard still looks like a blizzard. I mean, it's still, a foot more of snow in my backyard, but I don't know. I guess the salt that they push off the side of the road helps facilitate the melting of snow and the sun beating down on it. My house is completely tree lined, so there's not a whole lot of opportunity for melting until it gets warmer. So anyway, I don't know what it's like where you live, but I got lots of snow on the ground. Anyway, that's really has nothing to do with anything. But let me just, oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Oh gosh. Ty Alexander, oh, I can turn this shit on. Hang on. Ty Alexander, has already made a donation, has already put in, some money in the coffers that'll help me pay my cable bill this month. Thank you, Ty Alexander. You get a bell for this for being the first sponsor, which means you are the new Streamlabs Superstar Sponsor of the Day. Yay! Thank you, Ty Alexander. Dropping a small bullet, a.k.a. a 223 in the tip jar. Good morning, P. I thought I might try my hand at raising your blood pressure. Enjoy your morning cup of racism. Okay, I'm going to counter my cup of racism with my morning cup of reparations. Now, the light really messes that up, doesn't it? This is the wrong, what happened to my cup? Oh, dude, I'm going to have to tell these people. So this is my cup from Taylor's Made Right. It's a little restaurant in Marshalltown, Iowa. And it's been there since 1928. They're having their 95th anniversary this year. But the stuff in the back all peeled off when I washed it. I'm really bummed. But anyway, Taylor's Made Right, and that's where my grandparents are from. I used to go to my grandparents all the time, and we'd always stop at Taylor's Made Right. They have these loose meat hamburgers with just mustard, pickles, onions, and they are amazingly good. Especially because Taylor's Made Right is the second store in the chain. There's a little chain around Iowa called called Made Right, but Taylor's Made Right makes them the original way, the original store. They still have the equipment, whatever, that they have for almost 95 years, and they are amazing little burgers. And then they make handmade shakes and they homemade pies. Like that, literally, when I say homemade pies, I don't mean they bake the pies in the back of the restaurant because there's not even a place to bake pies. They actually have people who work there who bake pies at home. I think they got an exemption to do that, and they bake their pies at home and they bring it in. They have homemade pies. It's just, oh my gosh, so good. So anyway, AD, the problem, there are YouTube streams. Apparently, I was in a different one. There are 2 YouTube streams? How'd that happen? Hold up. What's going on here? Oh, did this thing... What? Hang on a second. I have 2 YouTube streams? Now, how the hell did that happen? Let me just check check the old back door here. Tyre, I'll get to that super chat in a second. Oh, no, I did. Oh, you gave it to me. Let me, what the hell happened here? What the bloody hell happened here? So, there are 2 YouTube streams? Because you're in the chat, Avocasdale. I mean, I see. So are a bunch of other people, but... Okay. What the hell happened here? No, there's only one that's live. Oh my gosh, how the hell did this happen? Oh, this pisses me off. So I've got the wrong link on YouTube. Okay, well, let me fix... Sorry, guys, we're going to do some a little backdoor action here. We're going to fix this one because these fuckers, I can't believe it. How the hell did that happen? Okay, we're going to save that. We got a new thumbnail for that. I got to redo the tweet of the tweet. Jesus Christ, this drives me nuts. Okay, today, save. How long does it take to save a damn thumbnail? Good God. Yes, you can see me at Zero Stream. Now, I'm going to put the link to the one we have here, which is this one. I'll put it in the chat if you're in the wrong chat. There we go. There's that link. And then, let's see. What else do I got to do? I got to change the playlist. This is annoying as F. No, it's not made for kids. Don't restrict it. Okay, that should be good. And we're going to This is annoying as hell. I hope those of you who are tweeting this out are tweeting out the right one here. I'm going to delete my tweet of the tweet. Sorry guys, those who ended up in the wrong house here. I'm going to fix that right now. Okay, let's try this. Copy, and then we're going to delete this tweet. We're going to open up a new one. Let's try that, and we're going to fix this because this pisses me off. I can't do this like this. I can't live like this. Oh, this is awful. What the hell's going on here? Okay, there's that. Little bookkeeping here. Let's see. Is that going to change? Yes, it did. Good God, people. Let's just fix that. We're going to delete the old one. Apologies, people, for those who went to the wrong place. And I have the wrong. Oh, good God, this is a pain in the ass. I need the right. I need to have the right. I need to have the right chat up too. So let's okay, go back to the studio. Today, all right, we'll just delete this one. Well, first I'm going to open this one. No, I'm going to delete this one first. Well, Avocados Diabli, out of sheer courtesy, you're still going to get the bell. Or a bell. I'll give 2 bells today because we're here with bells on. Okay, well, you're not there anymore because that one ain't working. So let's see if this one's working now. Oh, isn't that special? There it is. It's all working. It's playing right over there. Goodness me. What a... I know this is so exciting for all of you. I gotta say. So, there we go. Isn't that special? Are you a good boy today? I know you are. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Okay, so Tyre has an article here for me trying to... Oh my gosh, Tyre. Oh no, this is definitely going first. Holy shit. Where did you, oh my God. Okay, Tyre. You wanted... Let me say good morning to everybody before I read this shit. I just read, never mind, the first line of the name of the article. All right, Tyre, thank you for sponsoring the show. If you want to sponsor the show, ladies and gentlemen, you are the sponsors of this show that is just so exciting right now. If you would so kind to hit the like button sometime during the show, share the stream, of course. That is the most important thing you can do to help this show grow. And if you would be so kind, and you want to, if you can, if you're able, if you're not able, that's great. But, you know, I do this every day to be kind of entertaining. So if you don't mind throwing a couple bucks in, that'd be great. But you can do that at pdognight.live, where you can become the superstar sponsor of the day. We have a top sponsor every day who's known as the Streamlabs Superstar Sponsor of the Day, currently Tyre Alexander. And then we also can do that, you know, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, and Venmo Cash App. That shit's in the description down below. So let's, Tyre wants to raise my blood pressure. Well, we're going to start with this. I really wasn't planning on it, but I got to say hi to everybody. So first, the chat over on Rumble. Avocados Diabli. Oops, gets the bell. Whoops. Let's try that. There you go. You got the bell. And then we got Mike Savage, Blarg, TC's in the house. Jay Pylon's here. And I see Avocados Diabli again. And it's BHI, what's happening? Thank you. Yes, it is boomer time. I got your boomer right here. And... over on YouTube, I'm going to give Avocados Diabli a bell because he was here first on the tweet, the one that I set up, but somehow it didn't happen. So now on the one that actually is running, TC gets the bell. Congratulations. Good morning. Also, my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony. Hello, Somnambule Nation. HP Lovecraft. Nomads in the house.
Stop. Hammer time.
Formerly known as MC. That's, if you don't get that joke, you haven't been here very long, because that's an old joke. And then you also have to know that Nomad used to be MC. And so I thought, MC.
Stop. Hammer time.
Get it? Yeah, that was funny. Anyway, also hi to I said Avocado Stably is finally in the chat over here, and also Dr. Funkenstein's Ghost, aka Tyler Alexander, Septus Wolf's in the house, Woodcutter, Lord Stanhope, Chicago Mike, and anybody else? Oh, Attack Alpaca's here. Good morning. Oh. And good morning to Rachel Maddow's dildo. Ah! And Rotten Corpses in the house, and I think that's everybody, isn't it? Oh, and those ain't real, dude. And Maddie's here too. Maddie's here. Good to see you. All right. And Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Okay. Tire is an attempt to raise my blood pressure. And look, this whole Donald Trump is going to be arrested thing. So now that they've determined that it wasn't going to be today, although it still could be today for all I know, but we've been told that it's not going to be today. We're going to talk about that, but first I'm going to talk about what Tyre Alexander sent me, attempting to make my blood pressure rise. And what's interesting, there's some categories here. Black is like, when they give like hashtags or categories for this article, some of the hashtags for this article are Black, History, Money, and SMH for those who are in the, not in the internet world, scratching my head. The question is, this article is, wait, spill it? Spill the beans. Is coffee racist?
That's racist!
Okay, now. How drinking coffee perpetuates white supremacy. Yes. I think I'm going to be using that. I'm just going to keep using that over and over in this article. Created by Black people for Black people, and now a pillar of white supremacist capitalism. If you consume coffee, you are helping an industry built on racism. Good morning, Cannon Hotep. You came just in time. So did Jimmy Das Hotep. Welcome, fellas. Oh my lord. If you're a person of color. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, motherfuckers. You can't start with created by Black people for Black people and then ask if you're a person of color. Okay? Because persons of color encapsulates a numerous types of ethnicities and races, right? No, you should say if you are a Black person. Oh, anyway, let me finish this out. Hello, Shrapnel, what's up? It says, if you are a person of color, you know. Should I read this dramatically? I should have some. How long is this article? Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, it's not that long. I should have dramatic music for this, shouldn't I? Nah, fuck it. If you're a person of color, you know what I'm talking about. You walk into a new coffee shop and your senses are overwhelmed with whiteness. Hello, Hate Camel. And you get the glare from the Karens. What? Okay, stop. 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 What glare? What glare are you talking about? I go to a lot of coffee shops. I mean, even I've been gone in coffee shops in other places where white people are, like in Austria, in Prague, in Passau, Germany. I went into coffee shops and I did not get the glare, and I don't get the glare ever in America. In fact, when you walk into a coffee shop as a Black person in America, most people don't even look at you. They don't give a shit. They're just trying to get their coffee and get the fuck out. But I'm going to finish reading this crazy nonsense. The white hipster barista lines herself up between you and the bathrooms, ready to tell you non-customers aren't welcome. You know what? Here's the truth, okay? That white barista who lines herself, you're saying lines herself, they're usually afraid of black people. So what are you talking about? Or they're super hipsters, and they're super down with the cause. They probably weren't. Your super woke hipsters probably wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. But I'm just saying. Hello, Khalid Muhammad. What's up? If you have a white coffee drinking friend, oh, you noticed they were white. She may even have to let you in on the old coffee joke white drinkers share when POCs aren't around. There are 3 things that are necessary in order to make a cup of coffee. They are first, a black man to roast the coffee. Second, a yellow man to grind it. And third, a white man to drink it. Okay, I have a question for the chat. Look, now remember, I am of advanced years in age, and I was still alive when people often use that word that starts with an N in the original sense of the word, as opposed to a substitute for my brother. Okay? And I have never heard that joke, ever. I've never heard it. Now look, I've heard the joke. I like my coffee like my women black. I've never heard that. Who the hell, a black man to roast the coffee? What black man roasts the coffee anymore? Usually it's some hipster in the back if it's a place that roasts their own beans. And what are you, oh my God, what are you talking about? Is this a regional thing? Has anyone in the chat, okay, if you've heard that joke before, put a 1 in the chat. If you have not heard that joke before, put a 2 in the chat. No other numbers. If you put another number, I won't know what your answer is. I've never even heard that joke before. By the way, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, for sponsoring the show through YouTube Super Chat. Dropping a deuce in the tip jar. One of my favorite things to clean up. Who says, let's start a FUBU coffee shop. Oh, hell
That's
yes.
right.
I did not know. I've never heard that joke either. Well, I'm here to validate your lived experience. My lived experience don't include any of that shit. Of course, I know I'm a light-skinned guy. Sometimes people confuse me for white people. But when I grow my hair out, I got an afro just like all the other brothers, okay? I've never, ever. And also, here's the other thing. I grew up around white people. In fact, I am your resident white person expert because I grew up around white people all my life. Although I grew up around white people, but I did black shit when I was a kid. Like I went to a black church and our veterinarian was black. I mean, that's how black I do things. Although the number 1 veterinarian in Omaha was a black guy anyway, but that doesn't matter. It was still a black veterinarian. And also I went to black clubs. I was in Jack and Jill. I was in all this shit that black people do, but I lived in a white neighborhood, essentially white. There were like 9 black families in my neighborhood. But I've never heard this, but I'm an expert on white people. Look, my lived experience as a black man is I've never had this problem in a coffee shop. Now, I'm curious. Now, if you look homeless and if you come in and go and beeline to the bathroom, you've done it 3 times a week, and the barista says, "Get the fuck out! You can't use our bathrooms unless you buy something." Maybe that happens some places. I know it does, but I don't. It's not me. I don't get it. This is insane. Thank you again, Black Hebrew Israelite. Yeah, FUBU coffee shop. That's an idea. We'll go in the hood. I mean, I don't know. Oh my God, I'm hurt. This is killing me. Okay. All right. I'm here to validate your lived experience. Coffee is in fact horribly racist.
That's racist!
And there's data to back it up. Really. There's data. Every facet of the coffee industry, in fact, is rooted in racism. From the moment the whites viciously stole coffee from black and brown people. Wait a minute, I thought we were talking about black people. Created for black people, or by black people, for black people. Now you're adding black and brown. You said people of color up here. Make up your damn mind. Anyway, the whites viciously stole coffee from black and brown people. Oh, by the way, that's racist. To the present-day Karen sipping her morning cup of white supremacy. Whites have been able to drink from the fruits of our labor and our culture with impunity. Yes, the Ethiopian coffee brewers of the past were apparently the first coffee was brewed in Ethiopia. Anyway, there's nothing more important to black folks than learning about their rich history and embracing the unequaled creativity and genius of their blackness. It's only recently that historians have begun to recognize the achievements of black people, from building the pyramids. Wait a minute. Are you saying that historians have never acknowledged the pyramids? They just said, oh, those just kind of popped up somewhere. No, we don't know who built them. Oh, wait, didn't the black people have slaves build that shit? I'm sorry. That's okay. Never mind. Turks were black and brown. Okay, it's true. The history of coffee is both fascinating and tragic, writes Phyllis Johnson, an author of BD Imports, in a book called Strong Black Coffee. Why aren't African Americans more prominent in the coffee industry? Working through this unpleasant history is necessary for everyone involved in coffee. For some, this history is a source of empowerment. For others, it is a source of anger, hurt, and shame. Unfortunately, for many, this history is unknown. It is important that we understand and acknowledge this history. It is a well-known fact that whites would be eating bland food like plain bread and gruel if it weren't for their theft of culinary secrets from people of color, especially black folk. Really? Because I thought all those white the traders that used to take their boats and they'd go around the Horn of Africa, kind of skip Africa and go on to India. And because weren't they going to India to buy spices? They weren't going to Africa to buy spices. They're going to India to buy spices. So even those early, the 13, 14, 1500, when they're taking their ships around the Horn of Africa and going to India to buy spices, because that's where they were getting the spices. I didn't know the Indians were black, but then they culturally appropriated Indian spices and put them in their foods. Anyway, I'm sorry. Sidebar. I digress. That's precisely when the whites found out about coffee. It became one of the reasons they decided to victimize and appropriate black civilizations wholesale. Really? Because the British still drink tea, don't they? I don't know. Anyway, the first coffees exported to North America and Europe were harvested by slaves. Johnson wrote, hey, guess what? Those pyramids were built by slaves too. But anyway, later, enslaved Africans prepared and served coffee for their slave owners when they were not laboring in the fields. Weren't North America and Europe were the first places to abolish slavery? And isn't slavery still happening around the world? I'm just curious. Hello, Balin Bobby. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Coffee first came to North America and Europe between 1650 and 1700. But coffee was an important, almost religious part of black culture going far back to the 1400s in Ethiopia. After whites got the first sip of the black delicacy, they brutally enslaved people of color to keep up with demand, turning a ritualistic drink into another consumer product in the colonial capitalist machine. As we trace the bean that started in Africa and spread throughout the world, slave ships departed West Africa to put in place forced labor to ensure an adequate supply of production to meet demand. Johnson said a demand for coffee grew during this period, so did enslavement, which was used to sustain production. Oh, by the way, that coffee production, most of that coffee production was in South America. So, well, you know, I digress. Anyway, Ernex, maker of coffee equipment, agrees, quote, oh, apparently the Ernex, the maker of coffee equipment, also says white supremacy is built into the foundation of the coffee industry. The global coffee economy, a global coffee economy, was created through colonialism, the white supremacist system under which European countries invaded, subjugated, and exploited the countries of black and brown people after Dutch spies stole coffee from Africa. What? Stole? Okay. Do you know how many countries in the rest of the world grow corn now? Corn. Yeah, I said corn. They grow corn in all these. I've seen even a cornfield when I was in Africa. I saw some people growing corn there, which was really weird to me because corn is native to North America. Did those people steal corn from North America, or did they just happen to? Wait a minute. After Dutch, okay, I'm just saying, it's just weird. Special K asks, what's happening? After Dutch spies stole coffee from Africa, European forced black and indigenous people into slavery to grow it on colonized lands. So, now I know who was growing it before that. Did they not have any enslaved people growing corn for them, or like the kingdoms and stuff like that? This is just, oh boy. How much more of this shit do I have to read? I'm going to read the whole damn thing. Watch. I might not ever get to Trump and his imminent arrest or whatever it is. Okay. This is victim porn. Okay. How about, it is. It's just, you can make anything racist. I hope, is this a parody? Please tell me this is a parody. White folks drinking coffee perpetuates gentrification and racism. Yes, your cup of Folgers perpetuates racism and gentrification. Oh, you're talking about those coffee shops. So I have a Keurig and I buy some ground Jamaican beans, whatever, and I drink that. I don't go to coffee shops that often, but when I do, I'm perpetuating racism. I'm perpetuating racism. Okay, so now that it's been established that historically coffee is deeply rooted in colonialism. No, it hasn't been established. Look, everything on the planet was racist, colonialized. Look, so let's just say there's not a single place in this earth that some culture didn't, in a sense, colonize or try to take control of land. It's just the nature of man. Humans are shitty people. You know what I mean? And throughout history, there's a lot of bad shit. And if you just focused, I was talking to a relative of mine who was, I was going to go to see a historic mission in California, right? And my relative was like, well, I suppose I'll go, but I normally don't do that because, because of the brutal history of whatever the missions. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. If you're a traveler, okay, and you decided where you were going to travel because, or decide not to travel in places because of something that happened in history there, you wouldn't go anywhere, because it doesn't matter where you go on this planet. Where humans have lived, there's something bad that happened there, okay? Even if the Europeans had never colonized North America, South America, and Central America, and you were in Europe, and you said you want to travel, well, now I'm going to go see South America as these great civilizations of the past. Well, the Mayans, They had human sacrifice. That's not a good thing. They had slaves. They had slaves in Africa. They still have slaves in Africa. They still have slaves in China. There's countries all over the world where you'd never go. Even North America, the noble and Indians that we've stole their land and all that. Yeah, that's a shitty history for the native people who lived here. I won't say Native Americans because they actually came from across the Bering Strait to populate this part of North America. They weren't indigenous either. But they were here first, and guess what? They killed each other all the time over territory and land and whatever, and cut hearts out and ate them and all kinds of nasty shit that they did to each other before we ever got here. Okay? So, in fact, probably one of the reasons the Vikings probably didn't stay here in the year 1000 is probably because they were getting killed by the people who were already here. And then technologies change things and all kinds of stuff. So it's like, look, you can't live life constantly. You can acknowledge bad things that happen, but this is nonsense. Trying to make some oppression out of everything. You know what? It's too late. If you have a time machine, go back and fix it. Until then, shut the fuck up. Great to hear the history, but the idea that you're just trying to make people mad at each other and hate each other, and there's no use for this shit. This stuff drives me nuts. Tire, you've succeeded. My blood pressure is up there. Holy shit, this is crazy. But I'm gonna finish this. Shit. If you think coffee culture can find refuge in specialty coffee. No. Now it's been established that historically coffee is deeply rooted in colonialism and racism. You might be wondering what the next steps are. What are the next steps? Aren't we all addicted to stuff? What do we do with our horrible knowledge? Well, I suggest you shut the fuck up. This is crazy. If you think coffee culture can find refuge in its specialty coffee, think again. This might be obvious to some, but I'll spell it out for the folks in the back. The bourgeois notion of specialty coffee is explicitly rooted in classism. I thought it was racism, which is which is directly linked to racism. The whole other and very long topic. It's not just black folks cannot afford specialty coffee. Speak for yourself, bitch. But the very acceptance of the term specialty coffee, is a marketing tool. That's all. Oh, excuse me. The specialty coffee suggests that some coffee is somehow superior to others. Fact. Some coffee is superior to others. Have you ever drank a bad cup of coffee? Oh, God. Anyway, an idea that is rooted in, guess the word I'm going to say next. 3, 2, 1. I know you're typing furiously. Whiteness! Values like, quote, hard work creates better products, end quote, was a white supremacist idea that is constantly forced upon people of color and justifies stereotypes like the myth of laziness in people of color. What are you talking about? Some of the best coffee growers in South America. I don't think they're lazy. You know damn well that they work their asses off to grow coffee so they can sell it to people around the world. What are you talking about? Anyway, if you can't turn to specialty coffee, at least you can support your local coffee shop, right? Again, hold on. The number one sign of gentrification of black spaces and black places is a new chic coffee shop, according to Bitterroot magazine. Bitterroot, oh my God. Is that like oppression porn coffee? These shops seem to sprout on the corner of every neighborhood just as it's beginning to gentrify. A phenomenon researchers are beginning to notice too. Oh God. Well, I live in the suburbs, so I'm not, I don't, okay. I recognize the plight of gentrification, but you know what? Never mind, I'm not going into that subject. And let's not forget that so-called progressive coffee shops fail to pay a living wage. Yes. Yeah, your barista that works part-time probably isn't an early job. And look, living wage, what does that even mean? The average salary for a barista in Portland, Oregon is a measly $23,000 a year. So, let me ask you this. Is being a barista high-skilled labor? I mean, what do you count as a living wage? I mean, how much do you need to live? That would be a living wage. Are all these baristas still living and breathing? This whole living wage idea, what does that mean? Does it mean that you should be able to buy a $400,000 house in the suburbs and have, buy 2 brand new cars every year and eat caviar? Or does it just mean that you should be able to live? If you don't, look, it's a low-skilled job that doesn't take much to learn, and there's not a lot of profit in owning a coffee shop. So what do you want them to do? Do people work there? Then clearly it's a living wage. I'm sorry, there we go again. To put it short, think twice before entering your local anti-capitalist coffee shop. Despite their anarchist demagoguery, they're trying to exploit people of color just like the 19th century colonists. That's not to mention big retail coffee and coffee chains, which are just as bad as crypto-racist coffee shops in gentrified areas. At least white liberals pretend to be tolerant of us. Black folk are not even allowed to use restrooms in big coffee chains, as I'm sure you'll remember from this tragic 2018 Starbucks story. 2 black men who had not yet ordered anything were denied the code to use the bathroom and then were asked to leave the store. They did not. The manager called the police, and at the end of it all, 2 black men were handcuffed and detained for several hours. Now, I remember that store. I remember that event. And yes, 2 guys sat there for about an hour and didn't buy anything. And because they were waiting for somebody, whoever they were waiting for was late, and they didn't buy anything at all. They just sat there. Now, believe me, I've worked at places where someone will just come in and sit and take up a table for hours, and we usually ask them to leave, or if they're waiting something, whatever. So this was maybe that was, it could have been because of their race, maybe, I don't know. Is this happen every day in America? Are we going to start hearing are we going to start hearing all the stories of black people who are denied the ability to use a bathroom in a coffee shop? Because again, here's the thing. Here's what they said. Okay, crypto racist, at least white. Black folk are not even allowed to use restrooms in big coffee chains. Really? Is that a national policy in all the big coffee chains that black people are not allowed to use the restrooms? Or was there other factors that this manager thought, well, wait, you're just sitting here holding up on our table and you still haven't bought anything after an hour? I bet you, because look, black people who are sitting drinking coffee in a coffee shop, are they saying they're not allowed to use the restroom? I'd like to test that theory. I'd definitely like to test that theory. Yes, you bought a coffee and you got one of those little weird Danishes they make in some of the, Starbucks or whatever, and you sit down and you start drinking coffee, and then you're like, if I go to the bathroom, and then some barista's like, hey, no black people in our bathrooms, motherfucker, get the fuck out of our bathroom. I've never heard that before. Black people are not even allowed to use the restroom in big coffee chains. Holy shit. I've never heard that policy. Anyway, it's time to boycott and divest. Oh, there we go. Now we're going to... So let's see. You say that black people are really not big time customers, because there's plenty of white people going to coffee shops, right? So if black people boycott coffee shops, will that hurt the coffee shops? Hello, Malafika. If I could go back in time and change it, I wouldn't exist. Therefore, I would never be able to go back in time and change it. That's a good point, too. By the way, welcome to the show. I appreciate you here. Okay, so unfortunately, coffee is not the only racist drink on the market. Milk also became racist. Oh my God! You mean that 4-man troll meme? After white supremacists began using the white drink as a symbol of their skin. Hello, fake news expert. So, yes, racist roots in the coffee industry are certainly much deeper, but the whiteness of milk and milk's devastating effects on the beautiful black body also makes it almost as bad as coffee for some black people. So if both milk and coffee are racist, what can be done? Many people will insist that combining the two drinks actually cancels out the racism. Who says that? Who are these many people who insist that combining coffee and milk cancels out the racism? Oh my God. This is so stupid. Milk, this is because it represents the white becoming pregnant with blackness and creating a delicious brown result. This is why anarchist folks often take milk in their coffee, a subconscious purifying ritual. But ultimately, I know this will hurt. A proper commitment to doing anti-racist direct action requires that we give up coffee altogether, unless you're Ethiopian. See, because look, I guess it's got to be trolling, or I think they had to. Hi, Next Gen Troll. I think maybe is this article trolling? I think maybe. I thought so at first. What is this? Let's see what this is. I don't even know what this place is that I'm reading from. Get our best content max once a week. Okay. Afro. What is Afro? What is about Afro? We believe in the power of fashion to spark meaningful conversations on justice, as well as the other way around. Afro is a black-led and majority black-owned startup that combines fashion and streetwear with lifestyle commentary to create a strong social justice brand that is relevant and attractive to folks from all walks of life. Well, you realize white people are part of all walks of life, right? We believe in the power of fashion to spark meaningful conversations, as well as the other way around. We also realize that people don't want to be preached to all the time. That's why our imprint magazine stitches together light everyday topics with navigations of much more difficult intersectional spaces, while allowing the kind of messiness that is a part of human nature. Our visual and intellectual branding, therefore, nurture each other in a perpetual spiral of transcending justice. And then what do? They culturally appropriate the yin and the yang symbol. Oh my God. We unapologetically celebrate folks from all backgrounds, except white people. There's a poem here. Should we read the poem? I might not ever get to anything I want to talk about today. This is amazing. We unapologetically celebrate folks from all backgrounds. We celebrate all people, big and small. With open hearts and open arms, we stand tall. Gay and straight people, queer people, and everyone in between. All walks of life, all genders and all scenes, transgender and cisgender and gender nonconforming too. Everyone is welcome. Their journey we'll see through. All the sex workers, drag queens, and those in the scene, their stories we lift up. Their voices will be seen. Have you ever lifted up a white person's story? I'm curious. It's a serious question. Disabled folks, the elderly, the young and the old, all deserve love, respect, and protection, never to be told. Intersex, asexual, pansexual, and more. We stand with you and we'll fight with you for your roar. Black, white, brown. Oh, white people! Black, white, brown, yellow, and all shades in between. Racism has no place here. Our love is supreme, unless you drink coffee, of course. Muslim, Christian, Jewish, Hindu, and more. All religions are honored. Peace we implore, except for people who drink coffee. Poor, rich, middle class, no matter the wealth. Really? Really? I really doubt it. Hi, Annalyn. You'll have to go back to the beginning on this one. Leo Ferrer, hello, greetings, welcome to the show. And let's see, refugees, immigrants, those seeking a home will stand with you, never leave you alone. Yeah, yeah, because you're the coffee Karens. You really, that whole article was the black version or whatever, the BIPOC version of Karen about coffee. Okay. So let us come together and raise our voices high for social justice and equality. Let our love never die. We celebrate all identities. In unity, we'll stand for a better world for all, hand in hand. Really? So, do you ever lift up the MAGA people? Oh, because you said everybody, all identities. Well, some people identify as MAGA country. I've never been a MAGA guy, but I did vote for the guy with the funny hair the second time. The first time, I voted for a giant meteor. Anyway, so oh my God. Okay, let me give you a list of articles. Here's why gay people having children is the most natural thing in the world. Really? How the fuck did they get it out? I'm just curious. Oh, because they showed two gay men. Now, two lesbians, I suppose. No, it's not natural because they didn't have to. Oh my God. 6 creepy signs that mean he's toxic and definitely not the one. Oh, if he calls himself a male feminist, there's only one sign. He's a male feminist. That's creepy. The original influencers, why blacks dominate global culture. Interesting. Music, maybe, but music is kind of a combination of every culture. Like, look, the modular scale, that wasn't, that's not an African thing, I don't think. Just different chord progressions are all made by different people. And look, it doesn't matter what kind of music you use, especially Western music that includes music considered to be black music. It's funny, they all still use the same chord progressions. And it doesn't matter. You can use a chord progression and take just about any song, and there's songs that have it. And they're in the same chord progressions that are used in classical music in Europe, African music that's now considered African music. Look, the polyrhythms are attributed to African origin. Absolutely. But it's amalgamation. Music today is an amalgamation of a lot of different things. Yes, the creativity of it's interesting because the creativity of, especially blacks who were enslaved or in, spirituals that came out of that era, have pretty much, look, it's the original American music, pretty much, like jazz and all that stuff, and, gospel and all that. All these musics that are influenced music today, certainly have African influence and not even African American influence. And the rhythms often come from places that had drums. So in America, that would come from Africa. But it's not like they didn't do this in the Polynesian Islands. They didn't do this in other countries, but it was just different. And so, but we're not because of American influence, you don't see a lot of the original Asian influences in music, especially in the Western world, especially in Africa, especially in South America. But there's still, Asian style music, especially in Chinese, Japanese style music. But our music has become more popular in that American influence. When the richest country in the world is selling most of the music, everyone wants to be like the richest country in the world, and it's fun music. People love it. So I don't know. This is one of the, oh my God. I could very easily move on to I might have to bookmark this site and see what they come up with. How to be an ally. We support black artists. Wait a minute. We support black artists, but down here it said black, white, brown, yellow, and all shades in between. And they supposedly stand with anybody, but then they, and that's fine. If you want to center black artists, go right ahead. But I just laugh at the whole coffee article. Anyway, so I haven't even gotten to my first topic today that I was going to do. Thank you, Tyre. Thank you. So anyway, all right, let's get into what's happened in the world, because that's really what I was supposed to be here doing. Senator Dick Durbin, his parents named him right. Okay. His parents named him right. Apparently, Dick Durbin has COVID. He announced that. What the hell? No. I don't want that. Dick Durbin has announced that he has COVID, and he wrote this appropriately. I said the appropriately named senator from Illinois has announced he has COVID, despite the fact that he's a scumbag entrenched politician. I'm confident he'll pull through, which is not only likely, but appropriate and desirable, because even I can wish Dick good health. Say the line, Dick. And so he wrote this tweet. This morning I tested positive for COVID-19. Thankfully, I'm fully vaccinated and double boosted and only experiencing minor symptoms. That's the chat GPT line. Consistent with CDC guidelines, I will quarantine and follow advice from my doctor while I continue to work remotely. Oh, wait a minute. There's something wrong with this tweet. This is from 7/28/22. This was last year. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Let me give you the right one. This is from yesterday. Oops, wrong one. Say it again, Dick. Say the line. This morning I tested positive for COVID-19. Thankfully, I'm fully vaccinated and boosted and only experiencing minor symptoms. I will quarantine consistent with CDC guidelines and follow advice from my doctor while I continue to work remotely. So he said the exact same tweet. How long ago? This is 3 plus 6, 9 months later. He got COVID again, and he's fully vaccinated. But this time he said, thankfully I'm fully vaccinated and boosted, as opposed to double boosted. So chat GPT for COVID sufferers, if you're a politician, had a glitch because it forgot the double boosted. Maybe he forgot to put that in there. And so good. Dick Durbin is going to be fine. And look, even though I think he's a dick, which he is a dick because that's what his parents named him, I have no ill will towards his health, and hopefully his have an easy recovery, and his family will be all happy and joyful that he wasn't one of the ones who perished, and so on and so forth. All right, next on Twitter, wait a minute, let me get this right. Make sure that nothing skips so I don't put any penises on the screen. Let's see. Oh, so things that are trending right now. What is this? The fuck is that? Oh, that's my homepage. By the way, real quick, let me thank a few people here. TC, thanks for tweeting out the show. Somnambule Nation. TC retweeted my tweet. Mike Savage, and Simon Wolfwood. Thank you all for retweeting the show. Again, share the stream. You can share it before the show. Like if you get the notification, you can share it during the show. That's great. You can show it after the show, and it still helps. Share the stream and share both Rumble, share YouTube, hit the like button, do all that stuff that all the YouTubers actually do, but it helps. And especially a small channel like mine really needs that. We can always use the help. So thank you for those who have already done that. Let's skip here. Okay, things that are trending today. Iraq is trending, okay? Iraq is trending because y'all realize this is the 20th anniversary of the war in Iraq, the first strikes of the war in Iraq. Now, look, at the time, I thought, oh, gee, the government's not going to lie to us. They have WMDs and this and that and whatever. And then we find out later they lied. And I think, you guys are a bunch of dicks. And it's interesting that they're going after Trump right now because, there's some presidents since then have kind of been that pushed that mule for a little too long. And then Afghanistan and Iran and, whatever. So anyway, a lot of people are not happy. Millions of people are dead. millions are dead in Iraq. We actually fought in your damn wars. You sent us to hurt civilians. So this is this Tony Blair that they're chirping at? I can't remember. Let me see here. Oh, no, this is Joe Biden. See, Joe Biden likes to pretend that maybe he was kind of an anti-war type of dude. But he was full on board on the Iraq thing. So here's somebody that's giving him the business for that. Oh.
I'm an Air Force veteran here with the Army veteran. We're just wondering why we should vote for someone who voted for a war and enable a war. You know, thousands of our brothers and sisters. Countless Iraqi.
Oh, this was back when he was running.
You also gave a medal to a man who enabled that war and caused that war. Your blood is on your hands as well.
Oh, no, this is he's running again. Oh, no, you can't have a person come and disagree with Joe Biden.
Chose my son, who was in Iraq. Okay? For years. That doesn't matter, right? I don't think it matters to me. It matters a lot to me. Let me tell
I'm
you
sure it
something.
does. I'm sure it does. And I'm not going after your son.
You better know.
I'm not.
Because you said him there.
I'm not going after your son. You are disqualified, sir. Disqualified. The blood is on your hands. Blood is on your hands.
Okay, well, so he somehow got into this little Democrat rally, and they're not happy with him. Also, let's see. Donald Trump says, oh, this is back. When is this? Donald Trump says Nancy Pelosi should have impeached George W. Bush for lying about weapons of mass destruction and starting the Iraq war. He lied. He got us into the war with lies. Bush got us into this horrible war by saying we have WMDs. Well, the whole intelligence community and the war complex got us into that war as we found out more and more about that war. It's like, I don't trust any of these motherfuckers anymore. That's why I'm very skeptical when, Lindsey Graham comes out and says, oh, they shot down a drone. We should start blowing up Russian planes and shit. It's like, what are you talking about? It's an unmanned drone. I mean, yeah, it sucks, and we probably shouldn't have, probably can have talk about the rules of engagement, but geez. Do we still use Scud missiles? Just curious. I have no idea. Michael Tracy started bursting anyone's bubble with the ideological fanaticism and hubris that drove the U.S. into war in Iraq are every bit as evident today in the drive to war with Russia and China, except the dangers are vastly more catastrophic. And that's, a lot of people are making comparisons to our involvement, we're not really involved in Ukraine. We're just sending them hundreds of millions of dollars worth of weapons, but we're not involved. We're not part of this. This is not a proxy war at all. So people are concerned about war, and Iraq should tell you to be cautious about certain things. Also, in the news, California could use. Wait a minute. California could use backdoor to kickstart the end of diesel trucks in the U.S., experts say. Okay, I shouldn't have done that. So California is proposing some rules to dramatically limit emissions from heavy-duty vehicles, and it could affect the rest of effectively result in a nationwide ban on the sale of new diesel-powered heavy-duty vehicles, thanks to a backdoor in the Clean Air Act. The Environmental Protection Agency will approve California's proposed rules, which would obligate all new heavy-duty vehicles, including shipping trucks and delivery vans sold in the state after 2045, to be fully electric or hydrogen-powered. The Washington Post reported on Monday, citing 3 individuals familiar, blah, 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 blah. The familiar with the story people, them assholes. But here's what happens if they do that. And you can read the whole article yourself. The problem is California, and there's like 6 states that whatever California does, those 6 states automatically do what California does, and some by law, for example. Anytime California sets a precedent like that, those other 6 states join in, and that's 20% of the entire vehicle market of the country. And so then you have all these vehicle companies are scrambling to do everything that California wants. But you know what? The idea that they're going to have, now who knows, some brilliant person will come up with electric vehicles that make sense and aren't going to completely fuck up our power grid, right? But I'm not buying it. And look, what they don't seem to understand is electric vehicles don't work well in every state. And especially the time it takes to, now again, someone might come up with this technology where you can repower, fully charge an electric vehicle in 6 minutes or something, a big heavy duty truck in 6 minutes, but it ain't there yet. If you're hearing the nightmares of the people who have bought those Ford Lightnings, where they're first of all, their range just is quelled anytime you use anything electric in the car. And especially if you live in a northern climate where batteries don't last as long, you have to recharge them more often. They suck, and hopefully, and on the other part, they could do. Now, look, if for chance they get better with the hydrogen vehicles, okay, that certainly could be a solution, because hydrogen is we have hydrogen galore. We just don't know how to use it. But they're very volatile, and that's why there's not a whole lot of hydrogen technology. They're working on it. They're trying to figure it out. Trying to spur this kind of thing with legislation is such a bad idea. You have to let it happen in its own time without forcing it. Thank you, Avocado Salad. That's where I'm going here. Look, those giant Tesla trucks, yeah, they're great. They have a lot of power. They can move shit fast and whatnot. But I don't think, I'm guessing the charging time in those has to be between 24 and 48 hours. It needs to fully charge one of those. And even my friends who have Teslas, okay, I have a friend of Tesla that drove from Chicago to Des Moines, and he had to stop less than halfway there, and then they had to charge it for an hour just to get another 95 miles of driving. It's like, look, if you take long trips, it's inefficient as hell. If I'm going to drive to Chicago, first of all, I can get to Chicago from my 6-hour drive to Chicago in one tank of gas, first of all. And I'm going to be running on empty by the time I get there, but hey, I go fill up the gas station, 5 minutes, truck's filled, boom, I'm in Chicago. So the idea that they're going to force, like you said, Avocado Stabby made the perfect point. Spur this through legislation ain't going to do it. And there's certainly someone's going to get really, really rich when they figure out these technologies and make them improve them, whatever. Elon Musk is a good example. He's got really, really rich because the vehicles they make are probably the leading vehicles in that particular sector. So, but it's crazy that they're going to force this on the rest of the country, because what happens in California, again, 6 other states immediately go along. States like Minnesota will vote to do the same shit. And so now you're going to make everything more expensive for everybody, and particularly the low-income people that you say that you really give a shit about. When you don't. You're lying pieces of shit. You don't give a shit about them. So next, also in the news, Biden signs legislation to declassify coronavirus origins and overturn D.C. crime bill. Now, this is interesting. Biden signed a pair of bills into law Monday that would declassify information related to coronavirus and overturn the controversial Washington, D.C. soft on crime bill. COVID-19 Origin Act, introduced by Senator Josh Hawley, unanimously passed both chambers of Congress. Now, there's a worry that he was going to veto this, but he did sign it. The bill directs Director of National Intelligence to declassify any and all information related to potential links between the Wuhan Institute of Virology and the origin of the coronavirus. Hawley introduced the legislation after the Department of Energy concluded with low confidence that the coronavirus could have originated in the Chinese laboratory. Biden acknowledged the need to get to the bottom of the coronavirus origins in a statement of money. Again, his bill passed unanimously, and Biden was threatening to veto it. You know why he signed it? Because he knew he was going to get rolled over by Congress. They were going to override his veto, so it would have been futile for him to not sign that bill. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep. Dropping a big bull in the tip jar. And Jimmy Das Hotep, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Who says, Jimmy Das Hotep says, fuck California. I was in trucking since I was born, and we stopped going to California. More companies need to do the same. I left New Mexico because they are California's bitch. Legislate like them, sell them their water and electricity, and fuck New Mexicans. Yeah, California is nuts, and that's what I think should happen. The people who drive and build shit and use those vehicles on a daily basis to make money should say, hey, California, fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Anyway, all right. What's going on here? Okay. So anyway, and then he also, on the same day, Biden signed a Republican-led effort to overturn D.C.'s crime bill. That crime bill reduced penalties for several violent offenses like carjacking, burglary, and robbery. Although D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser vetoed the bill, the D.C. Council overrode the mayor's veto by a 12-1 vote last month. And so Congress can override local D.C. laws through a rarely used resolution of disapproval. Biden alienated members of his own party when he signed support for the GOP's led effort to overturn the crime bill. Now, this is amazing. This is amazing that it even passed. That it passed the Senate. That to override this crime bill that they city council wrote, but it was all because this. They have one of those district attorneys who was pushing this, and so they were trying to lower penalties for all these crimes, like they do in a lot of cities, and a lot of these cities are feeling the brunt of this crime wave that's due to these. They're not prosecuting crime. So I'm shocked that Joe Biden signed it. Good for him. I'm amazed. All right. Also news day. Let's see where we at. Are we getting close? Here we go. Okay, now let's get into the topic today. I know I don't have much time, but I have tons of articles open. You can just check the tabs. Again, for those of you who are new here, everything we talked about will be in a single link in the description down below. Second paragraph, it's called a one-tab link. I update it during the outro. If you click that link, every single thing that we talked about will be on that page, pretty much in order that we went through them. And if I didn't get to it, there'll be a whole bunch of more articles you can check out. To get yourself informed about what's happening in the world. So let's go through just my whole Trump is Trump to be arrested, which is going to be probably a theme for the entire week. And until it happens, and who knows? Did it happen? I don't know. Is it going to happen? Who knows? We'll see. Oh, I didn't. Here, I should probably leave that there. Okay, that's there. Okay. I should probably make sure I keep breaking news. Oh, has Trump? That's trending now. Has Trump? Has Trump been arrested yet? Oh, this is huge. All NYPD officers, including plainclothes detectives, have been ordered to wear their full uniform starting at 7 a.m. Tuesday ahead of a possible indictment of Donald Trump, according to CBS News. This is okay. Now, this is another one of those. They're very. This is one of those. What do you call it? Krassenesque Twitter handles. And I'm pretty sure, I got a feeling for some reason, I don't know why, but I think maybe this particular call to activism Twitter handle, it might be written by the Krassensteins because the style is almost identical. Otherwise, they're getting talking points from somebody, probably Media Matters or someone at the DNC, but they all breaking or this is huge, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, it's so funny. Alvin Bragg's turning this misdemeanor crime that usually just involves a fine into a felony crime, that's an interesting thing in and of itself because Alvin Bragg has been one of those guys who he's been reducing charges of people who do violent crimes and felonies to misdemeanors, but now he's going to take this misdemeanor of Donald Trump for political reasons, of course, and try to create a felony out of it. So anyway, so Trump is trending, of course, because everyone's talking about him possibly getting erected. Did I say erected? Oh God, I'm not Stormy Daniels. Come on. Yeah, that was bad. So anyway, thread yesterday, Georgia. Oh, and also there's, Georgia's going after him too. The state of Georgia, because their leadership is, at least in Atlanta where they're doing this, is definitely Democrat, but it's still a Republican governor, but who's not a Trump fan. Let's put it that way. So lots of people are talking about Donald Trump. Let's see, Byron Donalds. Let's see, how long is this? There's 38. Here's a clip from Brian McDonald's, then we'll move on. I'm just going to show a little bit of everything and keep going because I am really running out of time.
There are
here.
protests. Do you think that they should be peaceful?
What do you mean? What's a stupid fucking question? If there are protests, do you think they should be peaceful? Well, let's see. Yeah. No, I think they should kill everybody in sight. What the fuck are you talking about? That's a dumb question. I don't even know what her name is, but that's dumb. Should they be peaceful?
There are protests. Do you think that they should be peaceful?
Oh my God. You know what? I think, look, I'm going to answer this question before he does. Well, he already said, of course. Yeah, don't get caught up in the same bullshit that happened on January 6th. And in fact, there were some protests starting yesterday, and apparently the actual people who are protesting are way away from it. But there is this little group of knuckleheads that are out there banging on the doors and whatever. I got a feeling those are plants. I really do. And I don't mean like, marijuana or tulips or some shit like that. I think they're, start with A and have a tiff and a fa in it, or a ti and a fa. So anyway, let's hear the rest of his answer.
Of course, and I think that, of course, every protest should be peaceful. We've never argued for anything different than that. I think if there are Americans who choose to protest, they should do it peacefully.
What about January 6th?
But let's be very clear. What Alvin Bragg and his office is attempting to do is use essentially an investigation that the DOJ looked at, the FEC looked at. They did not bring charges. They said there's nothing really to do with this. They moved on. And he's trying to quote legal experts.
Hi, JD, by the way.
Some legal theory to just go get Trump. That's the essence of political prosecution.
There are protests.
Okay, so JD, thank you for joining us on Rumble. The globalists, the NWO, have secret underground tunnels as big as a city where they are stockpiling food as they destroy your food supply to starve you. Watch. Okay, she put a link in there if you're over on Rumble. Well, you know what? Why the hell? Out of curiosity. Wait, there. I'll put that link in the end of the show today. I'll have to check it out later. All right. So anyway, that's why Trump is trending. Also, Manhattan's trending, obviously, because the Manhattan District Attorney is planning to apparently arrest Donald Trump. Now, this is interesting. This is now all flipping. So, Juanita Broderick, when I said that the knuckleheads are out there already trying to make the Trump people look violent. Lights, camera, action. Juanita Broderick. Hollywood-style pre-production outside Manhattan's criminal court on 3/21, which is today. Soros Antifa thugs in Trump hats and shirts rioting and destroying. You will not be arrested. I don't know what that means. Oh, I see. I get it. But if you're a peaceful Trump supporter, you will be arrested. So be careful. I'm telling you. I don't think Trump should have told them to go protest. If something organic happened, great. But I think it was wrong for him to tell people to go protest. But if you're going to do it, stay away from the assholes that are doing stupid shit. And because you need to protect yourself. Another thing about that is Jim Jordan is going to be asking, made a request to the Manhattan DA's office. Was the Manhattan DA's office in communication with the DOJ about their investigation of President Trump? Was the Manhattan DA's office using federal funds to investigate President Trump? Alvin Bragg owes committee answers. So Jim Jordan, who are the three? It was Jordan. Let's see at the bottom of this letter. This is in the link in the. Who is it? Oh, wow. How many pages is this shit? Okay. Jim Jordan, Brian Stile, and James Comer wrote this letter to Alvin Bragg. They want to ask him questions about this prosecution that he may be planning on doing. Because like the previous, like Byron Donald said, the DOJ has looked at this. The FEC, Federal Elections Commission, has looked at this. They've all decided, they're just punting on this. And here's the problem, too. If they do this prosecution, how do you justify this prosecution without prosecuting Hillary Rodham Clinton for the same exact thing when it was clear that she did this in 2016? Because they're not prosecuting him for paying the hush money. They're not prosecuting him for bribing or anything like that because it was a non-disclosure agreement. But they're going to, at least they're going to try to prosecute him for a campaign finance violation, which is normally a misdemeanor and a fine, but they're trying to make it into a felony, Alvin Bragg. And, it's the exact same reason. Using campaign funds for things outside of the campaign. For Clinton, it was funding this fake dossier and colluding with the Russians. Remember, Hillary Clinton is the only one who colluded with the Russians in 2016. Let me just get that straight. She absolutely did. It's a fact. So I don't know. Anyway, Manhattan's trending. The corresponding article Manhattan is from Breitbart. Trump. Oh, wait, this is Manhattan? Yeah, I did. Okay. So they found a bunch of Trump critics who are slamming the looming indictment as nonsense. Partisan say it will help him in 2024. They think that this is going to help Trump more than hurt him because it'll prove the witch hunt theory. So anyway, they got a few different people. Andrew McCarthy, the former assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, is criticizing it. I don't know who this guy, Vivek Ramaswamy, who's an entrepreneur, one of the actual declared 2024 candidates, also criticizing the pending indictment. Chris Sununu, Mike Pence. They've got quotes from all these people. Alan Dershowitz, even Ron DeSantis. Now, it's interesting. People are mad at DeSantis. I'll come back to that one. So anyway, and then let's see. Even Elon Musk, if this happens, Trump will be reelected in a landslide victory. I don't know about that, but we'll see. Anyway, they've got all these different people that are slamming this indictment. Moving on, also trending today, I read the wrong one. Here's on Manhattan. It's on New York Police Department and Capitol Police putting up barricades and expecting riots when Trump is arrested. So there was a lot of video of that this morning. Source found Alvin Bragg seems determined to make history by arresting Trump, but the House Republicans on Monday were standing athwart history, shouting stop and demanding that Bragg give them all the documents related to his investigation of Trump. Will they be able to stop the arrest? The Republic itself could be hanging the balance. Meanwhile, preparations are proceeding apace. Robert Costas of CBS News on Monday tweeted 3 videos of steel barricades arriving outside Manhattan's criminal court. This comes after NBC News reported on Friday that local, state, and federal law enforcement security agencies are preparing for the possibility of Trump's arrest, with the NYPD, Secret Service, and even the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force all involved. Hey, here's my question. Is Ray Epps going to show up? Is Ray Epps going to tell them, you must go into the building? I don't know. But anyway, so they got video of them putting up steel barricades. It's a dog and pony show. It is certainly the statement Ron put out was good. Nothing to be pissed about. Well, some people are pissed about it. They're saying, well, he's not saying enough and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that's in Manhattan. Also trending, Alvin Bragg. We've already talked about him. This is the counterpart to Alvin Bragg, New York attorney Letitia James, who is also going after my father and our entire family. That's a tweet by Eric Trump. Anyway, here's Bobby Eberle. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg has a terrible record of putting criminals back on the streets. Instead of focusing on reducing crime in New York, Bragg is going after President Trump. So if you ever checked out Bobby Eberle, he puts out what's it called? I think he calls it 10-minute or the half hour or 10-minute news hour or something like that. He's pretty interesting. A lot of talking points, whatever. And then on here, Michael Cohen's former attorney Bob Costello and Alvin Bragg's star witness Michael Cohen said, "Guys, well here's how long is this? Minute 45. We can watch this one. Let's listen to Michael Cohen's former attorney. Pull it out there. There we go.
When I say once in a while, he did this at least 20 times and said, guys, I want you to know, I will do whatever the F I have to do. I will never spend one day in jail. Now, what he's saying is I'll lie, cheat, steal, shoot somebody.
He's talking about Michael Cohen.
I will not spend
the
a day in jail.
13-minute news hour. Yes, thank you,
whose
Shrapnel.
mentality is going to not admit that he has information on Donald Trump? But having said that, the DA's office didn't ask me questions to bring that up. And
so he's
brought it
talking
up
about,
anyway. I ignored.
he went in front of the grand jury, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that he can say that would be exculpatory evidence. Now, the thing about grand juries, though, there is no defense in a grand jury hearing, right? the person who's trying to get a prosecution only has to present the reasons why he believes there should be a prosecution. There's no defense in a grand jury. So I understand this guy's upset because he has a lot to say that would contradict the testimony of Michael Cohen. But Alvin Bragg and his team did not ask any of those questions. They asked very specific questions, and so they didn't let him do anything that would possibly derail their case. So there. So anyway, that's what's going on there. All right, other things going on. Where am I at here? Right here. Oh, also on that, let's see. Where the hell did that go? Oh, there it is. And then top priority House GOP leadership puts Alvin Bragg in the crosshairs. I've already showed you a letter by Jim Jordan. You'll find that in the links to there. Also trending, DeSantis is trending because some people are not happy with how DeSantis is defending Trump. Some people are happy. He made a statement that this is bullshit, a bullshit prosecution, but apparently they didn't like the language he used. Remember, Donald Trump's attorneys have said that if Donald Trump is indicted, he will turn himself in. Okay. Now, some people are mad because DeSantis said, well, if he's indicted, I'm not going to try to stop, the extradition from Florida, which, first of all, in the United States Constitution, that's unconstitutional anyway. And number two, Trump's already said he's going to turn himself in, so there will be no extradition. But people are mad that he said that he's not going to be involved in any of this, but he thinks it's a bullshit prosecution. But some people are not happy. So, for example, and also remember, why would Ron DeSantis be a big time back Donald Trump things? Because with some of the shit that Donald Trump said about him lately, I don't like the back and forth between these two right now. How about doing the Reagan rule on this? If you don't know the Reagan rule, look it up. Hello, Johnny Hellcat, the original viewer of the Morning Night Live, also unacceptable views in the house. Nice to see you. So, so DeSantis, these New York charges against Trump are nonsense. Trump, DeSantis is probably a pedo. Some 2024 GOP voters, I'm not sure who the one's more qualified leader here. So there seems to be this big friction between DeSantis supporters and Trump supporters right now, and I think it's not productive. Anyway, also, this is Joy Reid talking about DeSantis. This is a whole different topic. But anyway, Florida's Ron DeSantis, cash is king. Oh, also, he's fighting a U.S.-backed digital currency. He's like, no, we're not going there in Florida. So he's taking steps to make it illegal in Florida to do U.S.-backed digital currencies. Now, see, here's something. For example, I have withdrawn my support for Ron DeSantis. As of today, I have had concerns over supposed backing by the deep state, but have given him the benefit of the doubt. But today, after refusing to denounce the pending arrest of Donald J. Trump, I can no longer support him. DJT in 2024. He did not refuse anything. Where's his statement? I want to find his statement of what he actually said. I forget the Crassus. I'm going to try to skip quoting the Crassus today. So here's another one. DeSantis supporters fancy themselves as more sophisticated than Trump supporters, which is utterly hilarious. They said no statements before arrest, then said the arrest was fake. Then we got a crappy statement, zero acknowledgement of contradiction. Now all NYPD on duty. Okay, tomorrow, and DeSantis supporters have spun themselves into fake principles they violated. And this is Ali. He's a Trump partisan. Whereas I want to see what DeSantis' actual statement was. DeSantis says, now he will have nothing to do with a potential extradition, says he won't get involved in a manufactured circus, but it's not the whole quote. He's talking about the circus manufactured by Alvin Bragg. The reason he won't he'll have nothing to do with the potential extradition because Trump has already said he will turn himself in. There will be no extradition. It's just stupid. But if you want to, excuse me, I'll put the, sorry, I'll put the Politico article in the links too today. So I'm going to skip it. He says here, maybe this has the statement. He told reporters he won't get involved in Donald Trump's potential extradition. There was not going to be one. And he can't do that. He'd be violating the Constitution if he did. He said, I have no interest in getting involved in some type of manufactured circus by Soros DA, by some Soros DA. Manufactured circus by some Soros DA. He's not saying that this is a good thing happening. He's actually, by just saying that, he's saying this is a bullshit prosecution. And let's see, he said he's trying to do a political spectacle. I've got real issues I've got to deal with here in the state of Florida. We're not getting involved in it in any way. Under Florida law, the governor can intervene in an extradition matter if it is contested, but Trump's lawyers have told the media outlets that the president would likely surrender if he is indeed indicted. So why would he? This is just stupid shit. I'm going to move on. And then just another article on him breaking his silence. We'll leave you can check those out if you'd like. Also trending, no one is above the law. That's what every politician on the Democrat side is saying, including Joseph Rahim Biden. However, now this just conveniently, the top tweet on no one is above the law includes the people who seem to be above the law. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Frank Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Paul Pelosi, James Clapper, John Brennan, Peter Strzok, Kevin Kleinsmith, absolutely. TikTok libs, you aren't going to get away with this forever. Kleinsmith, I don't know how Kleinsmith is not in jail. He fabricated evidence in a damn, whatever. So, no one is above the law. You know who's above the law? That entire list. Oh, what's this? Currently in New York City, a den of snakes and repetitive lies. Seriously, what? Imagine New York City, where they don't arrest anyone unless their name is Trump, holding up a sign that says no one is above the law. Yeah, they keep reducing charges for violent crime in New York, but no, we're going to make this misdemeanor a felony. We'll see. We'll see what they actually try to arrest him for. This is going to be very interesting. And again, I'm putting that same title on this is Trump is to be arrested week. This is just an article in American Greatness, how Trump is he's the ultimate foe of the uniparty regime. I'm not going to go into it. Also, if Democrats really cared about campaign finance laws, Hillary Clinton and Obama would have felt their wrath years ago. And again, it's whataboutism journalism, but the fact that the documented campaign finance laws, because that's what he's being, again, this is what Alvin Bragg is going to arrest for. It's basically a campaign finance violation, which the DOJ and the Federal Election Commission did not prosecute. Okay. They decided it wasn't worth the time. And yet this Manhattan DA is going to try to prosecute Trump under a campaign finance issue as a felony. It's insane. And because it's New York, 80% of the voted for Trump. You can't even, because it's a Manhattan DA. I don't know if it's, if you can even move it to another jurisdiction. So it's basically the fuck Trump arrest. They're going to try. We'll see. And then let's see, indictment watch is trending because now there's a thing that there's this kind of theme that has been around the world that the left can't meme. Now, there actually have been some clever memes regarding this indictment watch, not this one, the woman waiting in her chair, me waiting for this arrest, okay? Make prison great again. It's a meme. It's even though I don't agree with it, that's not bad. Let's see. Go direct to jail. Do not pass Mar-a-Lago. That's weak. Lock up Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Adam Schiff, Robert Mueller, and Dr. Fauci. You should never lock up a political opponent. No, whatever. Hillary Clinton has committed crimes that they're never going to prosecute. There were a couple good ones though. They actually had a couple good memes. Which is unusual for what is that? Holy shit. Bill Mitchell waiting for Trump to be arrested in New York City. That's that would be that'd be a meme on the right. That's funny. Yeah, there were a couple good ones, but yeah. I mean, it's ironically funny to me that they use this one because, well, you know. But anyway, the idea that left can't meme is, they normally can't, but a couple of them are pretty good. Let's see. Also, Erasmus, because this is Christmas for Democrats. Hello, Reacción de Puerto Rico. Kleinsmith got his law license back and was hired by DC law. I know. That's amazing. That's amazing. He fabricated evidence he fabricated evidence to, interfere with election. He's basically back to practicing law. It's amazing. Oh, now Chris Rock's going to get savaged, I'm pretty sure, because he made a joke, another joke recently. Apparently at the Kennedy Center Honors, they were the Kennedy Center Honors give an award to Adam Sandler. Now I am just my heart is warm for that because I think even though Adam Sandler's shit is always the same, I think he's funny. Not everyone does. Some think he's just weird. But I like his sense of humor, and we watch a lot of his movies. He got a Mark Twain Prize on Sunday, and Chris Rock told a joke about this. So here's the joke that Chris Rock told. Are you guys really going to arrest Trump? You know, this is only going to make it more popular. It's like arresting Tupac. And he said, he's going to sell more records. Are you stupid? That's just not going to go over well. It's a lot funnier when Chris Rock says it. But he also made a joke about Nancy Pelosi. Oh, wait a minute. And then he poked fun at the expected charges over Trump for allegedly paying hush money to Stormy Daniels to try to kill her affair claims in the run-up to the 2016 election. He joked about the future president fucked a porn star and paid off someone so his wife couldn't find out. That's romantic, Rock joked. We've all been cheated on. Don't you wish that the person that cheated on you paid someone off so you wouldn't find out? But he also went after Trump is far from the only politician whom Rock focused on during this bit, cracking up the Washington, D.C. crowd, including President Biden, the oldest ever commander-in-chief. Trump was so bad as president, he was so bad that Joe Biden had to burst off a monument. Biden was dead for 16 years. He also gave a shout off to Nancy Pelosi's husband, jokingly comparing the home invasion hammer attack to Rock's own high-profile assault when he was slapped by Will Smith in last year's Oscars. Paul Pelosi, the only guy who knows how I felt. Oh, my God. Anyway, just you and me, Paul. So there you go. Chris Rock. Let's see. I'm not going to get the rest. So there's a couple articles about that. And then finally, this was just, and just to finish this off, because I need to go, but there's a whole bunch of other articles that'll be in the tabs today. But here is Joe Biden telling you the truth. Sort of. Okay, not really. Joe Biden.
Those responsible can be held accountable. In my administration, no one is above the law.
Except for Joe Biden, baby. Except for Joe Biden. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I got to go. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate all of you. If you haven't already hit a like button, do it right now before I stop talking. And thank you for being here at the Morning Night Live. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. And hit the like button, share the stream, put a comment in the comment section if you are watching on a replay. I need to know if you were here, okay? If you're not watching live right now, but you're watching by replay, let me know you were here. I want to know who shows up when I'm not broadcasting this, okay? So especially on Rumble, because I get so many views on Rumble, I don't even know how it is. I should probably put that message at the beginning of the show, or put, if you popped in, even if you came in just and saw the standby, I want you to tell me if you were here. I might put a message at the beginning of the show from now on. But anyway, because I want to know where these people are coming from, how you found this, whatnot, so I can maybe use that as a marketing tool to figure out how'd you get here. So that would help. So anyway, That's it. Thanks for everyone who joined me today. Everyone who's in the chat, love you as always. Very fun and entertaining chat every day. And those who sponsor the show with cash, that's always good too. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep. And wait, what the hell happened here? Black Caber Israelite and Tyre Alexander, who are very generous of you today. Thank you. I got to go. My name is P Dog Knight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.